Hi, my name is Andrew John Teague. I'm the founder of DAS, co-founder with Sophie David, and the co-founder of NAP, National Association of Alienated Parents, with myself and Peter Davis. Monsters among us in the PA world. It's quite revealing, and it's quite showing how many people out there have, I don't know whether to call it envy, jealousy, or whatever it is. They choose to go out and target people rather than and accuse them people of not working with others, whilst showing all the indications of exactly that themselves. I never thought that I'd ever have to be discussing this with anybody again in my life, but here goes. From a very young age of 13, 12, 13, I was taken into a care home in North Wales. So I was taken from the South Wales, which is Aberdeen, some 140 odd miles up to Wrexham. I was put into a care home there. Not long after arriving there, I could remember the place locked, dismal, hollow, miserable. Not long after I'd been there, I was a target of the abusers of that home. I was sexually abused in Bruneston, and I was reminded of it every day that these people were on. I'd get a smack on my head with their knuckles to remind me to keep my mouth shut. And even after what had happened to me and running away, I was taken back there. It was a godsend. I was moved to somewhere else, but that didn't stop the abuse happening in the care homes up there. Still, other people went through it. I remember trying to hide away, hoping they wouldn't find me or I wouldn't be noticed, or I wasn't, it wasn't something that when I looked at, I only thought it was just me. That's who I thought. They're picking on me. It's me. I wasn't a very big. I'm still not. I'm only 5'4". People tend to think that I'm a lot bigger than what I am, but I'm not. But I was very small then, and there was people from all over, young boys from all over in North Wales. Subsequently, all our horrors that we probably buried in the back of our minds and tried to get on with our lives were all brought to the surface again in the 90s, early 90s. And from that point on, there were inquiries after inquiries, there were cover-ups after cover-ups, there was all sort of things going on. And this was all in North Wales. I had to go and see two people, promised all the help from back then as well. It was the pathways, never got any. No support, nothing. I had to basically deal with it myself. Some people I was lucky that knew before even the inquiry was done. Here in Swansea, actually, some of them knew of what happened to me, historic. That's not something I parade about. It's not something I use to gain any vantage points with anything or anything else. It's not something I've it's just something that was very traumatic, and it still has its effects. Even recently, with people don't take into account of what they say and what they do might have effects on other people, and that's why they run their mouths. And it's sad to see that these people have got no integrity, they've got no remorse, they've got no empathy, they don't care about anybody else's feelings. They have not an iota of care for these people. They take something that may be there, and they take that one thing or anything that they can use, and they class that as gold. That's their piece of real estate or their leverage or whatever to poke and prod someone. I wasn't intending on doing this video, ever, because I shouldn't ever have to justify anything of myself to anybody else. Nobody. I know what happened to me, and that's all that matters. But of recently, I've seen the behaviours of some of these. Let's not forget there are a lot of people that are that know me, that have got to know me, that are supportive with us, and a lot of people send me things that I'm not interested in seeing, because these people, I've blocked them. They know who they are. They also run 2 other pages, and they've also got their little flying monkeys, and they know who they are. And I'm disgusted with them that they would talk about some of the perverse things that they've talked about openly, and even making the innuendos of someone that looks like a paedophile and so on, and remarking to these things as well. It's absolutely disgusting. I've recently had an apology, not directly to myself, but sent through by somebody else, by one of them. And I think the apology is an insult, to be quite honest with you, because this should never have happened in the first place. None of this should have happened. I've also seen one that claims that things happened to him when he was younger, but still going out there posting things about me, even after he's had his damaged on his possessions, on every other thing. And I think to myself, these people they don't care anything to have a go at someone. People have accused me of having a go at other groups in the background or wherever else. The fact remains is, anything that causes problems with other people, aside from myself, I think they should be actually shown for what they are, these people. And let's take into account that it was these people, over 5 months ago, started attacking me, bullying me. I won't be bullied. That's the problem with them. That's why these people don't like me, because I will not allow them to bully me. People say that I don't do anything, or I go hunting for people to promote things or whatever, so I can go on holidays and things like that. If I want to go on holidays, I wouldn't spend as much money of my own money in this, and I'd go on holidays. But that's not what I'm here for. I wasn't one for the lavish holidays before, and I'm certainly not now. I don't see that climbing the top of Parental Hill as a holiday, or doing the 3 Peaks Challenge, which nearly killed me, as a holiday. I noticed they only pick the one where we were invited over to Lanzarote by an alienated mum who had asked me months and months and months before, and I think it took me approximately about 10 months, 11 months before I could actually get to that point of doing it. We went over there to walk, and I said I'd climb the volcanoes, so I did. I wasn't supposed to climb them, but I did. So I went over there to do what I did, to do what we did. I wasn't on my own over there. So people fail to also tell other people. They just make out what they want people to hear, and that's the problem with these. But getting back to my life and what happened to me, I chose probably the worst path of my life to ask to be put in care, because my family life wasn't brilliant. Things were not fantastic at home, and I chose that. And that's something I've had to live with for the rest of my life. What happened to me and what I chose. I asked them, put me in care. Care. It has no meaning, like many people out there, what care would be, with your grandparents are now in a care home and they're being cared by someone, or it's intensive care and little kids are there being. It has not that meaning with me. It has sheer hurt, anger, trauma. That's what it had with me, care. I asked them to put me in care. And what happened to me from that was, I wouldn't wish on anybody. And for people to try to use what happened to me to just raise themselves a little bit higher, or just to put themselves above something else or whatever else, or put down whatever it is we do. And these people are disgusting. And I watched this even on one of the other groups that's been there for some time. and it stayed there for a long time. If things like that went on in our group, on Dad's, on NAP, it would be removed. Admin would remove it. But these people, they left it there. It says a lot about them. It says an absolute a lot about these kind of people. There's only a few. NAP, on the top of NAP, there is an article on the top of there. On the top of that article, it explains people can judge themselves. The fact that even though that is there and people are still turning around and saying, but, it gets you to understand that these people, it doesn't matter what. These people are also the kind of people that want to hear both sides of the story in the family court, but choose to put their own, whatever they can cherry pick out themselves. Supporters of paedophiles, because that's what these people were. These people, 20 of them, were convicted later of paedophilia, of raping, buggering us. I went public with this because I know that there were more people that needed to come forward. I was praised for going public. Then I think to myself, sometimes we do some things, but at what cost? It saved other people. Could have saved their lives, because we know that there were some of these people had taken their lives. And we know that some of them had even taken their, I know of one of them had taken his wife's life. Monsters amongst us. In the very world where we're trying to protect children, there are monsters amongst us. Only a few of them. But sadly, these few are chewing up everything that other people do. And they're very good at casting the blame onto other people, like myself. I see a lot of this, which gets targeted onto me. Someone's talking about something else, and it's, oh, Andrew. Talk about this, all about Andrew. I had this in the family courts. This is not the first time I've been through this. I went through this a long time ago. And I ended up in the midst of the pain and trauma of reliving what I went through. And I've got to be honest, in some aspects I've been reliving it again. But these people don't care. They have absolutely no remorse. They have no integrity. They have no empathy. And they clearly only care about themselves. And I haven't seen the very poor response I had back off one of them. That's all they are. And when it comes to shine, that's when they do the same as what the others do. Backside covering. They have all the behaviours of your exes, ex-partners out there that stop you from seeing your children, and all what they use to stop you seeing your children. These people have the same behaviours as them. They know who they are. I've never had to name them. They know who they are. And it's ironic that two of them are facing serious charges. And whether they are true or not, that's for a judge and jury. But the fact is that they are. And from what I was told about it in the beginning, there was certainly some big holes and some lies. I was only told what they wanted me to, what he wanted me to hear. That's what I was told. This is only a part of my story. This is only a bit of what I went through. Through that trauma, I don't know how many times I tried to kill myself. I wasn't just reliving the trauma of my life, my childhood. I was reliving what I've gone through now as well with my two eldest daughters. Estranged from one. So people who judge people should know who they are before they judge them. They should know things before they throw the stones. Because most of these people live in glass houses. Some of these people use parental alienation because they never bother doing anything, or they've give up, or they're not going to bother anymore. They become the deadbeats, leave the children where they are. They all cry out that their children are being abused, that their exes are abusers and everything else, but leave the kids where they are. And I fully understand some people that go through the trauma of this and then have to take a break and come back. But these people have left them, never bothered. Tom told them not to bother going into court, so they didn't bother. They didn't think of going to get someone else. Excuse me. Live. I do apologise. And the other ones that just use it for whatever gain they can get out of it. And I guess that's why they don't like me or probably nap dads, because we go out there to do everything we possibly can for everybody else. And we don't expect anything back. Surprisingly, we're there to help others. These people actually make, the way they portray the things and the things they do out there, they try to make out that it's everybody else, but it's not them. That's what they try to do. But they know who they are, because they can relate. I'm not going to sit there, as I said to Peter the other day, I'm not going to sit there and tell, make out that this has not had some kind of effect on me, because it has. It's bound to. It's reliving it all over again. And thanks to some people who just want to put me down. Some of these people, they talk about debating, when it's not. It's actually just they end up attacking. But they call it a debate. Some people will stalk and continue to badger or harangue or whatever with me, and they call it having a debate. These are not what they do. I'd block these people, and still they done it. Even to a point where they've actually manipulated and triangulated other people in this who have been in this for a long time, and these people have simply manipulated and triangulated them into being the same kind of people as them. The flying monkeys. They're like a cult. I didn't ask what happened to me. I didn't ask for it. I certainly didn't want it. I certainly didn't want to relive it every couple of decades either. But then, there we go. Doesn't matter whether these people talk about this in the forefront, which you have, or whether they do it in the background, like, oh, give me a ring and I'll tell you what's happening. Give me a call and I'll fill you in. There's a lot more going on in the background than you. That's what these kind of people do. They want to get hold of these people, cultivate them, bring them in, harvest them in, groom them. That's what these people do. They groom them. They want them to have their trail of thoughts. That's what these people do. Much like what your exes do with the schools when they turn around and tell them that there's court orders when there isn't, but the school kind of get roped into that. This is what these people do. The very thing that we fight against, the very behaviours, this is what these people do. It's only a matter of time, and I'll put the post up and I'll put their names out there, and I will put every single one of them on the spotlight. I've never been afraid of anybody doing anything in my life. One of the things that I've learned is if people want to talk about you behind your back or whatever else, The day I bother about that will be the day I make a rope, stick it around the hatch and kick the chair away, and that's not going to happen. I won't be bullied. I won't be tormented. I won't be tortured. I won't be held to ransom by these people. Oh yeah, I'm willing to leave it there now if you stop. That's what these people are. Anyway, I never thought I'd have to do this, but that's a short version of my life. Obviously, a lot more traumatic. There's a lot more detail involved in it. And there's a lot more heartbreak, and there's a lot more pain and suffering that goes in through that story. But the point is, and the point I've always said, is I know what happened to me. I think I would. Thank you very much.